Hey everybody, it's Tarina with Create with Tree, that's me, and as I promised, last night I did a video doing, I made a wind chime out of a wine bottle, and it did take me 6 or 7 times to finally get it right. I went on YouTube and looked online, and I tried everything. And a lot of them I got like these jagged edges, and they were always saying, well, do it this way and you will get a clean cut. This is the best way. Well, I'm not a big science person, but I do understand science. Let me move this up just a little bit. I do understand science, and I know that when you're trying something, you have to keep going until you get it right, and then when you get it right, to make sure that it's perfect, you have to do it again the same exact way to make sure that it worked. And so I went through and I did a lot of these bottles cracked, and I followed directions exactly the way people explained them, and it was really frustrating to me. So I thought about taking bits and pieces of what everybody said, because some of the things that they were saying is, score the glass, don't score it too deep, use hot and cold. Some of the hot was not hot enough, some of the cold wasn't cold enough. So I took a little bit from all these different people saying what they did, and that is how I did it. So I have a bottle, and I'm sorry, I don't know why my camera keeps going in and out of focus. I'm going to show you a couple of the things that I did. The wind chime that I ended up making was out of a clear bottle. This is the first one that actually worked correctly. It's a dark color glass. It's pretty thick, but it was really nice and a clean cut. But all these other ones were just bottles that we had. You could use wine bottles if you drink wine, or if you have friends that drink wine. We had a bunch of bottles left over from Thanksgiving. We had sparkling cider, and so I wanted to use those. I didn't want those to go to waste. So you can go to Hobby Lobby, the dollar store, just get some bottles. Like I said, I think the clear bottles work a lot better. I did etch on it, and you can see the finished project. I posted that earlier this morning. So for what I used just a bottle. So grab a bottle. I used pure acetone. I got this. I just happen to have this. It's fingernail polish remover is what it is. I got that at the beauty supply house, and I've had that, and I just used that. I got a G2 bottle cutter. And I really thought when I bought this, Catherine, actually, I slept really well, because after my project I felt like, whoosh, finally worked. And so I was so happy. I literally laid down and I was like, so nice. I got 4 hours of sleep. That's all I needed. And I was up, and I already did another live earlier with my son. So you have to check that one out. But when I bought this, I went in thinking, oh my gosh, it's just gonna cut the bottle. No, it does not. Don't be misled. It says bottle cutter. It is not a bottle cutter. It's a scorer. That's all it does. It scores the glass. So this is misleading. Don't believe it. But I did use it, and it came in very helpful. I used a paintbrush and a bowl. Something that you could have acetone in this. So I used a glass non-porous bowl, and this is a bristle brush. This is a cotton rope, and I bought this at Hobby Lobby. I tried it with jute first, because I thought, well, that'll burn. And the jute did not get hot enough, and it didn't last long enough. So I did get this at Hobby Lobby, and then I bought a bunch of other stuff. This at Hobby Lobby was $25. I used a 40% off coupon. And then I bought some jewels and gems and stuff that my boys picked out to do, to make the wind chimes. So, also, again, this is a disclaimer. I'm an adult woman in a very well ventilated area. I have every precaution. I'm going to be using fire, and I'm using acetone. So you just need to be very, very careful because these things are flammable, and you just need to be careful when you're doing these things. So don't let little children use any of these products unless you're with them. Honestly, I would not allow my grandson to do this. My son was helping me a little bit yesterday, and he's 21 years old, so I would trust him. You're also going to need, and I'm gonna turn this around so you can see. It's just me. I don't have anybody helping me, so it's just me and you. I hope that goes back into focus. Oh shoot! This is my farm sink, and I filled it up with cold water. And I actually did put some ice in that. So once we heat up the bottle, we're going to dump it in an ice bath. So I'm going to move you around a little bit with me. So to start off, and I still do kind of have a scratchy throat, so I do apologize. Oh, now I'm all crooked. Start off, put your glass bottle, and that's another thing too, make sure you're using glass, not plastic. I put my glass bottle in the freezer for at least 5 minutes. Here's another precaution. You need to make sure that when you take it out, you don't want to get frostbite, so have a towel handy. Because it's already getting really cold. I'm not going to give you the do's and don'ts of the glass scorer. Read the directions of how to put it together. And what you're going to do is you're just going to make sure that this is all set up correctly, that it's a 90-degree angle. Again, this bottle is cold. You need to make sure that you have a towel when you're playing with it, or if you have work gloves. I don't want to go out to my husband's thing and do it and go get them. So I just have a towel. It worked just fine. What you're going to do is score. You don't want to really cut in. I did read the directions, and I did make a mistake on one of the bottles. I went in and scored it too much, thinking that it was going to cut the bottle, and the deeper I go, the better. That's a falsehood. So you want to make sure that you just go around and that you can kind of hear it. You'll hear it make a little noise. You just want to turn the bottle and kind of press on. There is a little blade. You want to make sure that you're doing it nice and even. You want to make sure that you've gone around and you can at least see a line of where you're scoring. You don't want to do it too many times because you don't want it to go. There we go. And then take this, this is kind of really big for what it does. It's kind of funny. And again, it's really cold. Now you want to make sure that that line goes all the way around. That's good. And it's nice and even. So now I'm going to take hello, Carrie. I'm always on, aren't I? So this is cotton rope, and it's not super thick, but it's cotton, and that's the most important part. So again, when you're holding onto the cold bottle, you want to make sure that you are holding it with something, because it'll stick to you. You don't want it to stick to your skin. So what you're going to do is wrap. You can either go below or above. I'm going to go above because I have more space. You're going to wrap the cotton rope about 5 or 6 times around the bottle. You don't have to worry about getting it straight right this second. You just want to make sure that you've got it on there. And then tie it off, just in a double knot. And again, this is just my scientific experiment, and this is what worked for me. Trim the little tails off. And then what I did is I went around and made sure that I had about 1/4 of an inch above that score line. And I made the the rope. It's really thin rope too, so don't think it's thick rope. So I just made sure that I went around, and you can see I kind of made it, I went around everything like that. And I tried to make it as even as I possibly could. Put everything aside. Now, I'm going to put gloves on because I'm going to be using acetone, and if you have pretty nails, you don't want to mess up your nails. I don't right now. I'm probably going to go get those done tomorrow. But because I was baking and I did kind of injure myself, I have a little split in my finger. Having acetone in that little split will hurt so bad, and I don't want to hurt. So I have the bottle and my brush, and I'm just going to set this over this. This is still really, really cold. I think the longer that you can leave it in, the better. I poured a little bit of acetone into the bottom of the bowl. You don't need a lot, but we may have to do this a couple of times. So it will definitely, you'll definitely use it. So I just soak the rope, turn the rope as I'm soaking the rope with the acetone. It'll evaporate, and you can also wipe off any extra. And again, if this doesn't work the first time, we'll have to do this a couple more times. I know that that reddish orange bottle that I did that worked the first time, it took me 3 times to do this part. Can you stick around for just a second and help me? I just want you to face that towards me in a second. So the rope will just kind of turn like a yellowish when you have all the acetone on it. And I did protect my counter. It's granite. It's not going to hurt anything.
Yes, it is.
My husband said it'll hurt it. So
yes, it will.
I make sure that I always protect it. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put my lid and everything on here. I do have a lighter. I'm going to move that over here. So we're going to move the camera this way. Come on over. There we go. Hi, how's it going? I'm going to move this down so you can kind of see. So this is soaked in the acetone. I'm just going to light this on fire. Maybe. And then I'm going to turn it. These gloves do kind of help because this bottle is still cold. So basically you're just going to keep turning the bottle. And another reason why you want to make sure you're doing this part over water, 1, it has fire. And 2, if the bottom pops off, it's landing in the water. So it's a nice cushion for it. You just keep turning it. I want to heat up that. Okay, so now I'm going to pop it in here so you can hear it. You heard that crack? I'm just going to test it. Oh, yay! It did it the first time! I'm so happy. And it's a nice clean break. I don't know if you can see that. That's a nice clean break.
Got a little bit of a chip.
Where?
The chip.
Oh, that's okay. This still is a really clean break in comparison to the other stuff. It's still a little jagged, but not. This is really, really, really. This is really sharp. So you need to be very, very careful. So I'm going to take this off, the rope off, nice and careful. Be careful. It might still be a little warm. So just kind of work it off. If you have a straight blade, you could probably use that, or scissors. But be careful that it might be a little warm. And it does have, it had acetone on it, so make sure you put it somewhere it's not going to eat away your countertop. So I'm going to get my sandpaper, and this is 2G. This is really, really heavy duty sandpaper. When you go to the store, you can look at it. It's for glass and stuff like that. You need to get this wet. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to sand off any jagged edges. It works pretty fast too. I was really, really surprised. And then you want to go on the inside. I'm doing this left hand. I need to do it right handed. Go on the inside. Make sure you don't have any jagged edges on the outside. And this, I love this sandpaper because it's really heavy duty. It's not tearing or anything. And you just, again, don't just go, oh, is this soft and smooth? You don't want to do that, because if you do that and it's not, you could slice your finger. So be very, very careful. This, again, is another reason why, it's probably not good for little people to do this. I have one little jagged spot right here. So like I said, it does relatively work fast. Then you're going to take a 120 grit sandpaper, and this will give it a nice smooth finish. Now, with the fire, it leaves a little bit of a brown mark on your bottle, and so I found that using my my white magic eraser, take that around the edge, and that will clean that right up. That looks so good. So the water, this water, I put a bunch of ice in, used really, really cold water, and I'm so glad, because normally the darker colored glass takes a little bit takes a couple times to really pop off. So I'm glad and look how smooth that is. That's so smooth. That's beautiful. Okay, can you move the thing back over to me? All right. And then tilt it up just a teeny bit. You can use the handle. Right there, perfect. There we go. And then all I did, I'm going to take off my gloves because they're wet. Thank you. So was the acetone set on fire, set in cold water? Yes, the acetone was, I put it on, hold on, I'm crooked, so I'm going to just change this just a little bit. Yes, so the acetone, I soaked the rope in the acetone that was around the bottle. Yes, my husband has something to say, yes.
Why acetone and why not rubbing alcohol?
I don't know. I just, like I said, I looked at a bunch of different YouTubers, and one person they didn't even score the bottle, and they said that was the formula, just use the acetone on the thing.
Okay, so rubbing alcohol will probably burn longer than acetone.
Well, I'll have to try that one. My husband said rubbing alcohol will burn longer than acetone. He's pretty smart fella, so I trust him. So maybe I will have to try that on some future ones. He said that it will last longer, so it would probably get hotter longer. And maybe even better for the darker glasses. But like I said, this worked first time. I'm so excited. Hey, babe, really quick. Sorry. Can you hand me the Windchime that I made last night? I really love this, and I'm all about trying to make something and turn something into something else. So I'll actually be using my transfers to decorate this. But this is, he's electric. This is what I made last night. And I used crystals for the inside and a stone that my son found. This is a dream catcher at the bottom. He loves dream catchers. And I just used some heavy wire here. I kind of went through it all in the live from this early this morning.
The cork is glued.
And the cork, yes, thank you for saying, I did say that in my other live. The cork is glued with E6000. All of the designs are from transfers from Chalk Couture. I used etching cream to etch it into the glass, and then I used Rub and Buff to color them. This is my favorite part, and I don't know if you can see this, but I actually did the blue Rub and Buff, and then it looks like it was dipped in silver. I used silver leaf at the tip, so it's really beautiful. And so he woke up this morning, and I said, do you want to see what I made last night? And honestly, after I finally was able to figure it out, I slept so good. Probably the best 4 hours of sleep I've had in a while. So the top part. Oh, thank you very much. I just used some wire, and I really wanted to use some more of these crystals. I love the amethyst crystals, and I wanted to kind of he really loved this blue stone in the middle, and I wanted to try to mimic some of the swirls that were on it on this hanger. And so he really likes it, and it's going in his room. I don't know that I would put this outside, but I did use some heavy gauge flexible wire. It holds up to 26 pounds, and these crystals and this little thing at the bottom are definitely not 26 pounds worth. So let's see, anybody else have any other questions? Thank you so much. 4 hours. Yes, Sherry, I got 4 hours of sleep, and it was, like I said, what? Oh, yes, I am done. So my hand's not up in the air. There we go. Thank you. But when you have had a sick husband snoring for the last week and a half, and you're getting an hour of sleep, maybe, straight, 4 hours was great. So I felt really good when I woke up. So I'll be trying this again on the other bottles, the other green bottles, and see if it'll work. But like I said, I'm so excited that it worked the first time. And so this is the third time in a row that I have been able to pop that bottom off really quick and easy. And again, another disclaimer, make sure that you're wearing protective gear, you're protecting yourself. I wear glasses, and so I probably, my son was like, you need to have protective eyewear. I'm okay. I made sure that the glass was far enough away from me that if it popped, it wasn't going to pop up back at me. So just really be careful when you're doing this, because you are playing with fire and you don't want to get hurt. Don't want to get burned. There you go. If anybody has any questions, let me know. This has been a great experiment. I love doing fun things like this, especially when I get to craft it at the end. Is the rope tight? Yes, the rope was tight on the glass. You are very, very welcome. I really loved this project. This was a fantastic project. I have some other, and I was going to show you, because in my other live, I did say that I sketched it while I was at Hobby Lobby, and here is my sketch of how I wanted it to look. So, and it turned out exactly how I wanted it to. So, if anybody has any questions, let me know. This has been Cut Bottles. Oh, good. So, you know what, Sherry, when you come over tonight, maybe that's something we can do. Because I kind of have it all here, so that might be something fun to do. And I have a couple extra bottles just kind of laying around. So I'll wait and do these when you get here. We're having craft night tonight, and I might do another little quick live from that. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of my next. Hi, Sarah, you were just here. I got a bunch of fun things, and I'm only going to show you a little sneak peek, but I had this epiphany, and these were beautiful. Thank you so much, Pam. I appreciate it. I got these beautiful handkerchiefs, and I have an idea for all these. And that's going to be my next really big project. So I'm really excited about that one. That probably will be after Christmas, though. Maybe I have to. I'm waiting for one more item to get to me, but I'm really, really excited. Oh, and I just wanted to let you know this project was really important to me because I will be doing this live on Home Talk on December 28th. And so if you are a watcher of Home Talk, make sure that you tune in. I think it's 12 o'clock my time, 12, 1, 2, 3 across the board. I'll have to make sure that time, but I'll be on Home Talk on December 28th, and I will be doing a Windchime live. So I'm really, really excited. So make sure that everybody tunes in and gives me thumbs up, hearts, and shares, and I'm really excited about that one. So I wanted to make sure that this worked before I did it on a national forum, and that it worked in it. So I'll be doing that, and I'll be doing a couple of different things with that. So it is very exciting. It'll be my second time on Home Talk, and I hope it's not the last time. I'm just grateful that they asked me to come back. So anyway, thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. I really love all the interaction. I love my late night gals who even visit me when it's not so late night. And I look forward to the next time that we're together. This has been Tarina with Create with Tree. That's me. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'm sure you'll see me before then, but have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.